Oh, you guys are in for a real treat today, because I'm going to show you how I travel full-time and make jewelry from my RV jewelry studio. You're probably like, hold on there, Johnny boy. I thought you were making jewelry out of this trailer. Well, I went back on YouTube and looked at the date. I made a jewelry shop tour of this shop trailer in September 2016. It's August 2019 now, so that's 3 years ago. I was traveling full-time, towing this trailer and working out of this 11-foot shop. If you want to see the shop tour, you can go back and look at this video. And I get the questions all the time, like, how are you towing your VW and making jewelry and towing this shop and the VW at the same time? And the fact is I'm not. I switched. There was some problems towing this trailer. Number one, when I got to my RV spot, or my camp spot, I didn't have a tow car. So I was on a bike. So, you know, my radius would be like 5 miles. So sometimes, like on a shipping day, I would have to ride my bike one time I even had to ride my bike 10 miles to the post office to mail the jewelry out. That's an all-day adventure just to mail a package. So another problem is sometimes RV parks didn't allow trailers, you know, utility trailers on the RV spot. And so they wanted me to put it into storage or something like that. I always got around it. I always said I need the trailer with me. It's my workshop, and I was able to get in. But there was some problems. Or sometimes they would want me to go to a pull-through spot, which aren't quite as nice as the back-end spots, you know, that might be in a better area in the park. They made me go into RV spots that I didn't want, or they made me charge premium pricing on a pull-through. So sometimes it was costing me more. But the main reason is that I didn't have a car. So actually, 3 years ago, I'm almost just after I made this video, I built another shop in the RV. So that's what we're going to see today. So let's check out how I've been traveling the last 3 years in the RV, and I left the trailer here. Okay, I haven't really used this trailer for anything in 3 years. So let's see what we have here. I still have the benches. I never dismantled it. I mean, I have the polishing wheel still in there. I have the storage. I still have this sink in here. The bench is still in here. I never even took it out. That's where I had the casting machine. And I still have my snap-on toolbox in here. So it's all just been stripped out, and all the tools have been moved to the RV. Let's go check it out. Okay. Okay, now you guys have seen a tour of the bus conversion already, but this is slightly embarrassing, but good for you, information-wise, that what I had to do in order to travel in the RV is you have to make sacrifices. What I did is I tore out the bedroom, I made that the studio, and this right here, this is my couch. This is actually where I have been sleeping for the last 3 years since I've took my bedroom out and made it into my jewelry studio. I'm a couch surfer in my own home. But actually, when I was traveling with the kids and we went back west, and remember, we traveled for 2.5 months summer vacation with the kids. You remember, the only way to do that, to make that possible, was to be able to work and travel. And sometimes what I'll do is I have an air mattress, and I'll throw the air mattress on the floor in the back. You know, if you want to travel, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. You know, you're going to have to give up the big stuff in order to see and go where you want to go. So as you come in, I have this box of the plaster investment for casting and my tumbler, which I had to walk around for 3 years, into my jewelry studio. I've got my bench here. I've got the casting machine. I've got my wax injector, tumblers up there. Okay, so what I actually built this shop in about 3 days. What I did is I took the queen size bed out. This used to be the built-in nightstand. This is a closet which stayed. So really all I did was took out the nightstand, took the mattress out, and I put my jeweler's bench right here. What I have here is I brought, the mini torch. I have all my basic tools here. I have my soldering bench. I have my wax pen up here. I've got all of my my Fordham flex shafts for working on silver jewelry right here. I have, basically, because this bench doesn't have drawers all the way down, like my other bench, I put everything in these storage bins right here. I have, the things for my blocks, vice and burrs and diamond setting bits in this one. I got some wax tools, hand files, everything I need in here that I took out of my other bench. I have 3 buckets full of basically bench tools in here. I've got some mold frames in here. This is actually the handle to my rolling mill, which is down here. So I did bring my little rolling mill, not my electric one, but I've got my little rolling mill here, my hand one. And then in here is just diamond setting burrs. Just more hand tools and hammers and things. So these all go back down here. And so they all fit nicely there. That way I can bring as much stuff as possible. But I do have a few drawers in here, which is the main stuff that I use. The burrs, full of sandpaper. And in this one is, the mandrels for sizing rings and pliers, little hammers. And over here is where I put the casting machine. Now the bed's set down here, so I built in like maybe an 8-inch thing. And so I am able to put these little Tupperware bins down here, which these have like my polishing wheels and just different wheels for polishing, and supplies are down here. I got grinding wheels, sandpaper and stuff all underneath. So I have a little bit of extra storage. So, and then I have the casting machine up here. So everything is like in travel mode right now. So what we've got over here, I've got my casting machine up here. I do have a bunch of jewelry in process up here. I just don't, all the drawers are full. So this is the stuff in works. I usually make about 100 pieces of jewelry a week. So I'm casting about every 10 days. I have my mixing machine for mixing up the plaster mix. It just sits up here when not in use. I have my big 15 CFM vacuum pump right here. This is actually my automated wax injector. Never leaving home without that, because I've got to make the waxes. Up here, I actually have my vulcanizer right here. I do have a radio right here. I've got a vice script right here. This is my Magna block for when I want to set some stones. This goes on the bench. I have 3 tumblers right here that are filled with porcelain for tumbling. And then up here, which was normally where I would keep clothes, is all jewelry making stuff, like my mandrel supplies. I got some things for making silicone rubber molds up there, and extra crucibles, and just basically bulk items. Right here is actually my genie. I use this for sanding silver, but I also use it to grind and cut stones, like if I have a piece of tiger eye or lapis or coral or whatever, I can cut and shape stone on this and polish it. So over here is my vibratory custom handmade investing machine that I use, and just some screens for tumbling media. Over here is my my scale for weighing out the plaster. I also have some cut down media for the tumblers. Hi, I'm over here now. So over here, I have my kiln with my flask stored inside here. I can do about 150 pieces at a time in this oven, which is just my little oven. Obviously, when I'm in a big shop, I use my big kiln. Here is my stainless steel custom handmade tumbler, which runs stainless steel, which I probably shouldn't have brought. I really don't use it because I don't like the finish of the stainless steel. I pretty much hand polish everything, and then I use, you know, the porcelain is the best thing to use. So this was wasted space, and I actually had some other stuff in here that I cut back. I used to have up on top even higher, I had my devesting water blasting cabinet, which I got rid of because I figured, why do I need a blasting cabinet? Follow me around now. Now, here we are at the polishing wheel. It's still plugged in. So I spent a lot of time over here. Basically, this used to be my dresser. I had all my clothes in here, and it was one drawer higher. So I cut one drawer off. Now it's just a 3-drawer basically, and I mounted more of a desktop. So I have a little bit of leg room here, and I will spend pretty much several days a week right here polishing. I'll have a vacuum dust collector going, and this works really nice. And now to the slightly embarrassing part. Because this is like the smallest shop, and it was what's necessary if you want to travel, you're going to have to make some sacrifices on space and how you're going to use it to intertwine work and travel to make it possible. What I've done is I have taken over some of the bathroom a little bit. I have my bucket here for quenching the flasks. I also have, this is the bell jar for mixing up the investment. So I actually, when I am pouring my plaster molds, I've been using the shower, which is awesome actually. It turned out really nice because making the plaster molds can be sometimes messy. And so when it's all done, you know, and I've got my mixer in here, I'm mixing up the plaster, and then I pour it into the flasks, and then, you know, any kind of a mess, and I put a sprayer in here, and I can just hose down the whole shower, and it's great. I've really enjoyed it, actually, other than I'm down here on my knees when I do this, when I'm doing the plaster mix. That's one of the sacrifices I've made to you know, to be able to travel, and this is how I've been working for 3 years.